Hey everyone! So you want to know how to make your Google business profile really pop in local search results? Well, today we're going to take a deep dive into picking the perfect Google business profile categories.
Right. We're going to look at what local SEO whiz Elizabeth Rule had to say.
Speaking the same language as the people searching for you online.
Yeah, it's all about being strategic. You got to get inside the heads of your potential customers.
Exactly. So let's start with the basics.
Okay.
Your primary category, that's like the main event, right? It
Yeah.
needs to scream what your business is all about.
Like the headline act. If it's a flop, nobody's going to stick around.
Yeah.
Well, you really got to nail this one. Picking the wrong category can mean missing out on tons of potential customers.
Like if you're a bakery, but you choose catering as your primary category.
Yeah, people looking for a birthday cake might never find you.
Exactly. And here's a little trick from the article, a pro tip, if you will. Take a peek at what your competitors are doing.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
See what primary categories those successful businesses in your niche are using. It's like taking a sneak peek at their game plan.
Almost like industrial espionage, but totally legit.
The article even mentions a tool called Plepper that can help you with it.
Oh, yeah. Pupper's great.
Yeah.
It's like having X-ray vision into your competitor's strategy.
Yeah.
You can see exactly what they're doing to rank high.
Super helpful. Okay, so we've got our primary category locked in.
Yep. Now what?
Time to add some flavor with secondary categories.
Secondary categories are all about getting into the specifics.
Right. This is where you highlight those special services that make you, you. And the best part is, you can have up to 9.
So go wild.
Don't be shy. Like, the article says, if you're a contractor, your primary category might be handyman.
Right.
But then your secondary categories could be things like bathroom remodeling or fence installation.
Yeah. That way, you're not just showing up for people searching for a general handyman. You're also popping up for those super specific needs.
It's like adding hashtags to your business card.
Oh, I like that.
You're speaking the language of those online searchers. Now, Elizabeth Rule, the author of the article, she makes a really good point about testing and tweaking that primary category.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Especially if you're not seeing the results you're hoping for. But it's not about constantly changing it.
No, you got to give it some time to, breathe, see how it performs.
Yeah, you need to be patient. The article actually recommends waiting at least 6 weeks before making any major changes.
Makes sense. You need enough data to actually see what's working and what's not.
Exactly. And while you're waiting, keep an eye on those Google Analytics. See how people are finding you.
For sure. You can use tools like the Lead Send report from Google, really helpful for tracking that stuff.
Now, here's something I think a lot of businesses might miss. Ready for this? Adapting your categories to the seasons.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. You're basically adjusting your categories based on what people are searching for at different times of year. Like, think about an HVAC company.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In the summer, their primary category might be air conditioning repair.
Right, right.
But then come winter, they might switch it to furnace repair.
Oh, smart.
And a landscaping business could do something similar, maybe highlighting snow removal during those colder months.
It's so simple but brilliant. You're basically staying one step ahead of your customers' needs.
Right. And speaking of things that can affect your visibility, have you ever felt like your listing is kind of getting lost in the shuffle?
Oh, yeah. Like you're doing everything right, but still not showing up.
That could be the local filter at play.
Yes. The dreaded local filter.
It's basically Google's way of avoiding showing too many similar businesses in the same area.
Yeah, it's like Google's trying to curate the search results, make sure there's a good variety.
Right. And if you're, say, a dentist in a city that's already saturated with dental practices,
Oh.
your listing might get pushed down, even if it's awesome.
Yeah, it can be tough to stand out when there's
Yeah.
so much competition.
But Elizabeth Rule offers a great tip for this, and it all comes back to strategic category selection.
Okay, I'm listening.
Let's say a dental clinic has multiple practitioners, right?
Mm.
They could use categories like pediatric dentist or emergency dentist to really set themselves apart.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It's about getting specific, really understanding the nuances of your target audience and what they're searching for.
You got to speak their language.
Mm.
And sometimes that means going beyond the obvious,
Yeah,
digging a little deeper into those specific needs.
exactly.
And that's where a deep understanding of your local market becomes so important. You got to know what people in your area are looking for.
Absolutely.
What are the pain points? What are the specific services that are in high demand?
It's about niching down, finding your sweet spot.
Exactly. and then using those insights to craft the perfect set of Google Business Profile categories
That'll really make you shine.
and attract those ideal customers.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground already. From primary categories to secondary categories, seasonal shifts, that tricky local filter.
Yeah. It's a lot to take in, but, hopefully it's starting to make sense how all these pieces fit together.
Exactly. It's really about taking a strategic approach to your Google business profile. It's not just about filling in some blanks. It's about thinking like your customers.
Right. Like we were saying before, it's all about getting into their heads and understanding how they're searching online.
So, like, how can our listeners actually use this information? What's the big takeaway?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that you have the power to make your business more visible. You're not just at the mercy of some algorithm.
Right.
By optimizing your Google business profile, you're taking control of how you show up online.
And it's not a one-time thing either.
Oh, definitely not. It's an ongoing process.
As your business grows, as the online landscape changes, you need to be ready to adapt.
Absolutely. You got to stay flexible, be willing to experiment, try new things.
What really surprised you about Elizabeth Rule's article? Like, was there anything that really stood out?
For me, it was the power of those seasonal shifts. Like, it seems so obvious, right?
Right, yeah.
But it's something that so many businesses overlook,
Mm.
and it can make such a huge difference.
Yeah, it's like you were saying before, it's about staying ahead of those customer needs, anticipating what they're going to be searching for,
Exactly.
whether it's, a change in the weather or a big holiday or even just a local event. You can use your Google business profile to capitalize on those trends.
It's about being proactive, right?
Yeah.
Not just reacting, but planning ahead.
And, it's important to remember that your Google business profile is just one piece of the puzzle.
Right. It works hand in hand with all your other marketing efforts, your website, your social media, your local SEO strategy.
Yeah, it all needs to be aligned, working together to tell that cohesive story of your brand. Okay, so before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about. We were talking about those seasonal shifts, but what about the less obvious ways your business changes throughout the year?
Oh, that's interesting.
Maybe you offer a special service during the holidays or run promotions during certain months. Are there opportunities to tweak your Google business profile categories to reflect those changes?
That's a good point.
Could you maybe leverage an upcoming local event or festival to attract more customers?
Yeah, there are definitely ways to get creative with it.
It's all about understanding your audience, their behavior, their needs, and then, finding those creative ways to connect with them.
And remembering that the digital landscape is constantly changing. What works today might not work tomorrow.
Exactly. So, keep learning, keep experimenting, keep adapting.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to try new things.
This deep dive has given you a great foundation for optimizing your Google business profile categories.
Now it's up to you to take that knowledge and run with it.
And if you're hungry for more, want to dig a little deeper, Elizabeth Rule's article in Search Engine Land has even more great tips.
Oh, yeah, definitely check that out.
We'll be sure to include a link in the show notes.
It's so important to stay up to date on all things SEO.
Oh, absolutely.
Things are constantly changing.
Yeah.
What works today might be totally obsolete tomorrow.
It's true. So, subscribe to some industry newsletters, follow some SEO experts on social media, just never stop learning.
Yeah, the world of digital marketing is always evolving. There's always something new to discover.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into the sometimes mysterious world of Google business profile categories.
It's been fun.
I hope everyone listening feels empowered to make some changes to their own profile.
Yeah. Even small tweaks can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just remember, it all starts with understanding your audience.
Know what you're searching for.
Speak their language.
And don't be afraid to experiment.
Until next time, keep diving deep and exploring the ever-changing world of SEO.